Hey, welcome to Joe's Multiverse. I'm Joe, and today we're going to be visiting the universe of Marvel Legends. We're going to be playing a game called 5 Figures in This Box. This box right here. Here's how we play. I'm going to randomly pick out 5 different figures out of here, Marvel Legends, and I'm going to show them to you, talk about them a little bit, and rank them 1 through 5. All right, let's play. All right, number 1. The Scarlet Spider-Man. The Scarlet Spider-Man came out in 2015. He was part of the Build-A-Figure Rhino wave. If you want to get your hands on this Scarlet Spider-Man figure, nowadays it's going for about $50 on the secondary market. I got this figure back in 2017 from Walgreens. I passed on him at first, and then a few days later I changed my mind and went back for him, and he was gone. That was a big mistake on my part, so the only way I could get my hands on him was to order him off eBay without the Build-A-Figure piece. And to this day, the Rhino Build-A-Figure is one of the figures that I desperately want to finish. But of course, I'm missing the 3 most expensive pieces to buy, and there's no chance of even trying to get a hold of the figure and the Build-A-Figure piece together, because that's even more expensive. But maybe one day. Anyway, this is one of my favorite figures, one of my favorite Spider-Man figures, and yeah, in my opinion, he's pretty darn cool. All right. That's a big one. Here we go. Okay. We got Songbird. Songbird. Marvel Legends, released in March of 2018, was part of the Build-A-Figure Thanos Infinity War. I wasn't real familiar with this figure at first, and I just actually took her out of the box and noticed that she had these big pink wings behind her, and for all my figures that come with like something big that clips onto their back, usually it's some sort of wings or something, I'm just a sucker for that. I just think it adds to the character, gives it more color, gives it more girth, makes you feel like you have maybe a little more expensive or a little higher quality of a figure. But not really sure where to place her right now, so she's going to be sitting on the sidelines. Songbird was formerly known as Screamin' Mimi, and she was originally a supervillain. She possesses supersonic sound abilities that can cause a variety of effects. So I guess she's a big deal. Alright, number 3. One of my favorite. Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill. One of my favorites. Beta Ray Bill was released in July of 2019. He was part of the Hulk Build-A-Figure wave from the movie Endgame, a movie that I've watched too many times. This is just one of my favorite figures. I was actually thinking about this figure. I remember shortly before I saw it, and I had to get it. I got it right away. I did end up finishing that Build-A-Figure Hulk, so that was really cool. That wave actually came out with some pretty nice figures. It wasn't a bad wave. It was kind of weird because it came out with one of the figures was Surrey. Another one was, I believe, War Machine. What was one of the other ones? It was another really cool... Rescue. The girlfriend to Tony Stark, but it also came out with one of the worthless figures, and that was Rock Python. We might be covering him in a future video, 5 of the most worthless Marvel Legends. But nevertheless, this is one of my favorite figures. He has the old Stormbreaker, who was originally held by good old Beta Ray Bill. And like I said, I love this figure, and it is one of my favorites. Number 4. Good old Daredevil. Daredevil, I believe this one was one of my very first, if not the first, Marvel Legends figure that I bought when I seriously got into collecting these figures. Got this one, I remember it was 2017, February of 2017 from Walgreens. I think that this was a Walgreens exclusive. He was released in 2016, and I'm pretty sure he was by himself. There was no Build-A-Figure piece. I could be wrong on that. But he's sporting his yellow costume that he had in his early days, one of his original costumes with the big red D on his chest. And the one thing that I always think about when I look at this figure is, to this day, we're at the very end of 2020, and I still see this damn thing at Walgreens. Tells you the kind of turnover we have around here, and we have like 4 or 5, maybe even more Walgreens, and I still see this guy. So that's a little frustrating, but nevertheless, he's one of the Daredevils that I have, and in my opinion, he's pretty cool. And last but not least, number 5. Maybe least. The original Red Guardian, or at least it's my original. I'm not sure if a version of him had came out before. A lot of stuff with Toy Biz and all that I'm not too familiar with, because I didn't start seriously collecting stuff until February of 2017. So the Red Guardian, he was released in February of 2016. He was part of the Build-A-Figure Giant Man wave. The Giant Man from, what was it? Winter Soldier? No, Civil War. Captain America Civil War. When old Ant-Man grows to be a big boy. And I actually did finish that wave too. And this is one of those figures that I bought just because it had a Build-A-Figure piece to it, or else I would have never bought them. I'm not particularly crazy about this figure. I didn't even know who it was. It wasn't until I learned more about the character as information and everything came out, Black Widow, and I think that figure that came out with that wave for the Black Widow movie is a much better figure, and it just looks better. It's just a cooler looking figure. But as far as this one is concerned, I don't do a whole lot with this. Like I said, I only bought it because it had that Build-A-Figure piece in it. Not the worst figure in the world, but definitely not one of my top 10. So my ranking for these 5 figures, 1 through 5, 5, well, how should we do it? Should be 5 should be the highest, or we'll go backwards. All right, going from 5 to 1, 5 being the least favorite. We're gonna go with Red Guardian. Like I said, I didn't know who this guy was, and I like the other character. I even actually grabbed him here. Here's the other Red Guardian from the Black Widow movie. So as Red Guardian figures go, he is the Russian Captain America, Russian version of Captain America, by the way. So number 5. And then number 4, I'm gonna go with Songbird, even though that I like, you know, these wingy Sonic whatever you have deals on her. The other 3 figures I like a lot more. So number 4 for good old Songbird. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Daredevil. He is my OG, my personal OG figure, but these other 2 figures I like a lot more. But I might have a little Daredevil convention having all my Daredevil figures, which I don't have a whole lot. I did grab my other one. It's this same figure, but I repainted it back in the day because I just couldn't pay for the huge price they were asking for the secondary market on a red version of Daredevil. So I gave him a paint. He's a little old, he needs some touch-ups, but I think he was my first kind of custom repaint. A little dusty. He's been around. But he'll be up there as well when I put my few Daredevil figures. I think I only have 3 or 4 anyway. And this is a toss-up. But number 2 out of these Marvel Legends, out of these 5 anyway, you know, I just don't know. I'm gonna go with my first feeling about him. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Beta Ray Bill. This is a much better figure than the one that I am going with number 1, and maybe it's a sentimental thing, but and he's got Stormbreaker. I mean, he should be number 1 out of these 5. I think we can all agree with that. But I love this figure, and but for right now, you know, rankings can be ever changing, but he's going to be number 4 right now, is the old Beta Ray Bill. But I think all in all, you know, with him being a heavier, thicker figure, which I always like, and just, I don't know, everything about him is better. But my number 1 right now, today, for the purposes of this video, is going to be the Scarlet Spider-Man. I had to go through a little more trouble to get him. If I ever get a chance to get another one, I definitely will. He holds the secrets to one of the Build-A-Figure pieces I need for Rhino, if I ever get my hands on that. But I don't know, he's like my 2nd or 3rd favorite Spider-Man figure, and I have a lot of Spider-Man figures. But I really like this. He holds a special place in my heart. It's a sentimental thing. He was one of the very first Marvel Legends that I bought, and I have a really good story with him, and it makes me think of back then when I first started quite a bit. And I don't know. So number 1 out of these 5, Scarlet Spider-Man. All right, there you have it. 5 figures in this box. Well, thank you for joining me in the multiverse as we visited Marvel Legends and played the game 5 figures in this box. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this content. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time in the multiverse. See you later.